Welcome to a production by Safer Stronger Systems, an expert by experience co-production guide. Expert by experience. People who use their experience to improve the way services are planned, delivered, and reviewed.
This guide is really important to amplify the voices of experts by experience, learning from people's ideas about what works and what we can do better to influence change together. So the group has grown into a community of people who care really deeply about this work. We came together as part of the Safer Stronger Systems project to build capacity within the Trauma Informed Network in Cornwall, and that's been funded by the Serious Violence Prevention Programme and hosted by the charity Safer Stronger Communities.
We have collaborated to make a comprehensive trauma-informed guide to aid in co-production, thus enabling further inclusion and improvements for a safer and stronger system and services. In this video, we will discuss the key topics that will unite and move us towards a future of abundant best practice. The 7 key areas we will discuss are: 1. Start from a place of inclusion. 2. Grow organisational culture. 3. Nurture people. 4. Respect and dignity. 5. Value our voice and contributions. 6. Expert with experience. 7. Continue our conversations. Please welcome a few of our members who would like to discuss these topics in a little more detail. Start from a place of inclusion. Inclusion. What does that actually mean? Well, fundamentally, to be included. Being an expert by experience doesn't mean we have to share our personal stories. We use our past experience of navigating through the hardships of life to look at the system from a different perspective. Some of us have been to the depths of hell in our experience, and this is where our passion and knowledge comes from. We have lived the lives of the service user in real time, with the rawest of emotions. We have first-hand knowledge of the barriers we faced, the feelings we held, and the complications of being in traumatic situations to deal with. We want the same as you do. We are all working towards a better future, and best practice starts with inclusion. I sometimes hear services asking, "What are we missing? How can we reach the minority within our society? Why do the vulnerable seem to not want to help themselves? Why are the most complex cases harder to navigate?" Try asking an expert by experience. We would be only too happy to have our voice listened to and valued. We can answer those questions and more with ease. We can recognise the gaps. We have been the gaps. We usually have a creative way of thinking about things and problem solving. Think of using an expert by experience's viewpoint when formulating service plans, strategy meetings, steering groups, procurement process, etc. If it involves the people in the community, use the community to help shape it. Use our voice to find out exactly what we want and what that might look like, and to tease out the barriers between us all. Reach out with accessible advertising of opportunities, questionnaires, group consultations. As mentioned earlier, some of us have been through some unimaginable things in our life, which is why we should pay specific attention to co-production environments. Please bear in mind that many experts by experience do not understand the internal dynamics of each system. We do not understand the timescales involved in true change. Be informative with us. Full transparency is the key. We are bringing our full selves in a transparent manner to the table. Please invite and join us. With biscuits if possible. Who doesn't like a biscuit? We are all equal. We all have lived experience. We can all aid in change.
I'm going to talk about growing organisational culture. That's the bit of the guide that for me is really important, really, really important. I particularly feel that what's important is to recognise that the organisational culture is about adapting, is about growing to meet the needs of everybody. Particularly if we're talking about leadership, if we're talking about management and trusteeship, directorship, councillorship. So often we talk about skilling people up, developing people. Now all of us need skilling up or developing in some ways, but if we have a leadership structure or a governance structure that is not meeting everybody's needs, then I think it's also about changing and adapting that structure, that leadership model, so that it can be inclusive for everybody. So we're talking about having an inclusive approach, everybody able to have their voice heard, everybody able to participate, and so it's really, really important that the organisation recognises that it's about going to the place that meets the needs of everybody in the organisation, getting to the place where everybody can contribute. People with different abilities, different skills, different experiences are equally able to feed into some of those structures, particularly at a governance and management level. Particularly people that aren't always used to having their voice listened to, who haven't always had the opportunity to put themselves forward or the resources or the tools to even put themselves forward in the first place. We've got to crack this. We've got to have genuine, authentic co-production, time and resources to really get the design of that right and to really get the working culture, the management and leadership structures moving to a place where they're truly inclusive.
Nurture people.
Co-production goes beyond expecting experts by experience to fit neatly into corporate or organisational structures. It's accepting that people are more than just one size fits all. Nurturing people requires you to embrace inclusivity and understand trauma awareness. We need to be able to provide flexible spaces for people to grow into rather than expecting them to fit into the space we provide. It's important to understand that the outcomes of co-production may not always meet your expectations of what it will be. To truly nurture someone, it requires curiosity and the relinquishing of full control. Experts by experience already hold their own first-hand knowledge and often just need support and guidance in how to take that further. Facilitate the growth of someone through sourcing, training and guidance and support that can help them grow and move beyond just the work that's done within your organisation. For example, if you provide one person with social media training, that can then go on to create their own platform for education and change. By training one, you've affected many. We can't change the world on our own, but we can tool up as many people as we need to try to join the fight.
Respect and dignity.
Co-production isn't just consultation, it's real involvement from the very beginning. It means having a say in how services are designed, delivered and improved. And for that to happen, everyone in the room should be treated with the same respect and dignity. Experts by experience deserve control of their own voice. That means being given the space to contribute, being listened to with genuine intent and seeing our input shape real change. But co-production doesn't just happen, it has to be planned for. That means giving people proper notice, at least 4 weeks, to prepare for meetings and events. It means creating an environment where listening is active, where contributions are valued, and where there's a clear path from discussion to action. And it means investment of money and resources. To guide our work, Cornwall Minds Experts by Experience have established a group agreement, which we share at every meeting and workshop. It reminds us to treat each other with respect and kindness, create a supportive space, listen actively, recognise that together we know more, acknowledge our limitations, be aware of power dynamics, and most importantly, be ourselves. Co-production is a commitment to ensuring Experts by Experience are an equal partner influencing policies and services that truly work for the people who use and deliver them.
Value our voice and contributions.
Co-production is about genuinely valuing people's experiences and contributions. That means paying us fairly and on time. Flexibility is key because everyone's circumstances are different and choice matters. There's a personal cost to getting involved, whether it's time, emotional energy or travel, so proper support needs to be in place. If we're serious about making things fair, we have to prioritise inclusivity, well-being and real involvement. It's about creating equal opportunities, not just inviting people in and then making it hard for them to take part.
Expert with experience.
I do believe that participation is protective and that we should be using experts with experience to improve service design and delivery. I think we need to create a culture where this input is expected and accepted at every level, up, down and across the system. I think that for everyone to have equal esteem, we don't create them and us situations or other people. And also to work with empathy, we need to understand shame and we need to understand trauma. I guess we need to understand that we might be experts by profession or we might be experts by practice, but we are also experts with experience. As practitioners, we're encouraged to bring use of self to our relationship-based practice, and rightly so. Hopefully it's this that makes us authentic, real human beings. It helps us to support those who are experiencing shame and also not to shame others. We don't often talk about shame, but it can have so much impact on feelings, behaviours and responses. Somehow we need to be able to recognise this, to acknowledge it, so it doesn't just fester away in the background. So it's vital that we draw on our own life experience in a safe and professional way, and that we create a culture where this is supported. And we can tease out the nuances of this in safe spaces with skilled supervision. That's so that we can practice safely and ethically, so that we have appropriate boundaries in place, that we're informed by knowledge and experience and skilled in what we do. And also to be able to work with genuineness, authenticity and humanity. I think this is what it means to be experts with experience.
So I wanted to talk about continuing our conversations. I think it's really important when, after the initial kind of enthusiasm of a project has kind of waned slightly, so everybody gets together, we share ideas, everybody's listened to, and then sometimes everybody kind of goes away and then some of that goes into a little bit of a hole. And we understand that sometimes it means, some internal barriers have come up, it might be resources, it might be budgets, etc. But I think it's really important to give us that update. So in the You Said We Did model, often I think there's a kind of reluctance to say, we haven't actually actioned any of your feedback. But I think sharing those barriers with us, or sharing some of the things that you're kind of trying to unpick, is really helpful. So certainly with our group, we've let them know where things have got to, even if things have slowed for whatever reason that is. I think we've really appreciated that update just as much as we've actioned stuff, because sometimes we understand that there are, sort of barriers and actually involve us in those conversations, because it could be that we can think of alternative solutions or how we can overcome some of that stuff. So I think it's just really important, no matter what the situation, to keep us updated and to just let us know, even if progress is slow, like why that might be, and just being really honest and transparent about that is really important.
We are now drawing to an end of an expert by experience guide to co-production, hosted by Safer Stronger Communities. I want to offer you a personal opportunity. Take the time to reflect on what we have spoken about in this short video. I ask you to ask yourself, what can I personally do to help shift the culture, break down barriers, become more trauma aware and informed, to help towards meaningful co-production? How can I involve an expert by experience in my line of work? What are the possibilities? Please don't just think about these topics. You have the power to take action for real change. So reach out to us and we can walk forward together for a brighter future through co-production. Special thanks goes to Mandy and her colleagues at Safer Stronger Communities, Mike Davies for the design and production of this beautiful piano composition, and of course our amazing experts by experience who featured in this production. Without yourselves and Mandy, none of this would have been possible. Sam, Courtney, Dylan, Joe, Ali, Claire, and myself.
Filmed on location, not limited to Botanic Mines, Lyford Gorge, Port Scatho, Carn Galva Engine House, Plymouth Truro and Cornish Towns, St Michael's Church, Brentor. All photographs and videos used within this production were taken, edited and produced by myself for this guide, for all to freely share. But please, send credits my way. Your video guide creator, Saran Stevens.
I sometimes hear services. How can we minority within our society? Hang on. Turn the page. A creative way of. I can't even read my own writing. And turn the page. Lyford Gorge.
That was a bit better, wasn't it?
That was awesome.
That totally flowed better the second time.
What was I going to say?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I haven't even got my first sentence right yet.
That'll do.
Right, yeah, that's done, that's done.
Outtakes. One requires I'm just getting my words muddled.
That'll do, won't it? That'll do. Nice.
I don't want to look at myself. But I'm very, very...
Never want to see it. Thank you.
I'm going to do exactly the same.
Yes, Dylan.
You can do what you want with it, just don't let me see it.
Is that an orb? From the top of the head to the bottom left of the image, just after she sighs. That's all, folks. Thanks for watching. https://saferstronger.flywheelsites.com/ March 20th, 2025. Coordinated by Mandy. Mandy at shedoeschange.com. A film production by Phoenix Creations. sran.phoenixcreations@gmail.com. www.phoenixcreations.co.uk